Florida, the land of beaches, sunshine, and theme parks. Florida, a state with retirees, spring breakers, and cowboys? Yep, cowboys.
Hey, he's a native Floridian, born in Plant City.
Bad shape. I mean, picked him slap up in the air and put him on the corner post in the cow pen.
Although you may not associate Florida with cowboys and cattle, Florida is one of the top cattle states east of the Mississippi, and agriculture is the second largest industry in the state after tourism. Along with its contemporary importance, Florida was once the largest exporter of cattle in the United States and was also the first state to have cattle. For almost half a millennium, cattle have called Florida home. To celebrate Florida cow culture, a group of Floridians put together an event with a focus on living history, the Great Florida Cattle Drive 2016.
This ride is a reenactment of the cattle drive done back in the 1800s.
The Great Florida Cattle Drive 2016 was a week-long cattle drive that took place in Central Florida. The Florida Cow Culture Preservation Committee, who organized the drive, sorted out the logistics.
And to move those people through the woods was like moving an army. You got to feed them, whatever scenario you wind up in. You got to put up with the weather. And for the first time, weather was a challenge.
The drive took place in January, which has fewer bugs, but more rain.
When people first called in and said, Mr. Connor, what are we going to do if the weather's bad? I said, what you're going to do is remember it longer.
The cattle drive was set to begin on Monday, January 25th. Riders checked in 1 or 2 days beforehand, and everybody was excited for the week-long drive.
I was on the original 1995 cattle drive. I had the best time of my life on it. It was fun. So I drove from New Mexico to be here for this.
Around 450 people signed up for the cattle drive. Most would be riding a horseback, and some would be riding in wagons, and a handful of people signed up to walk the entire 50-mile journey. The cattle drive began at the Whaley Ranch south of Orlando and would end up at the Silver Spurs Practice Arena in Kenansville, Florida. The committee worked with various landowners, of course, both public and private, who agreed to have the cattle pass through their land.
The drive will take us through, there's no telling how many different ecosystems. Each one of those ecosystems will have its own wildlife, if you will, different from the one you just rode through, which is cypress heads, palmetto woods, piney woods, scrubs. You should be able to see 5 or 6 different ecosystems.
The folks that travel from out west in Montana and Wyoming that learn about this historical event, they don't know much about Florida until they came down here. Florida is a lot different than Montana or Wyoming. Everything that they were involved with, it was new to them.
People from all over the world, some as far away as Germany and the United Kingdom, showed up for this big event. Since so many signed up to participate, the committee split people into smaller circles, each headed up by a circle boss. Every circle had its own color in order to keep track. Sunday evening, after meeting their circle bosses and gathering with their circles, each person began packing their gear in preparation.